Hello everybody! So we're finally launching the stream. Sorry for the delays, we had some technical issues, like every Magic tournament ever. We'll be starting the coverage very soon with round 2, so Lizerg, who is not there at the moment, but who will coming back momentarily, will be picking the future match. The pairings have yet to be posted, but he's on it. As soon as we have the pairings, we will have a match starting. Everything is working, so for those who are just arriving, this will be this is a dual commander tournament. So dual commander is a format just like normal commander. You have 30 life point and 21 commander damage kills you. You have a commander and a 99 cards deck of singletons. It's best 2 out of 3 without a sideboard. Since you have already a 100 cards deck, you don't have a sideboard. And what else is there to say? The ban list is the dual commander ban list. So for example, of course the Power 9 is banned, Soul Ring is banned, as opposed to normal commander, 4 players commander. But you have other bans, for example, you have other legal cards. You have, for example, Skull Clamp in the format, Survival of the Fittest. What else do you have in terms of broken cards? You have Frantic Search, it's kind of broken. It's not broken at all in EDH, but it's a good card, which is banned in Legacy, but legal in Dual Commander. And that's it, I think. We will do a small recap of the ban list. And more importantly, Sensei's Divining Top has been banned since the last Dual Commander tournament, so since the last DTC. The last DTC was 9 months ago, in June, and there were a ton of SDTs. No more SDTs in this tournament. 7 Library is legal in Dual Commander. Yes, Cradle is legal. Can we have the list of all played commanders at GTC? It will be coming very soon. The metagame breakdown is currently being typed, so we will have a complete metagame breakdown in a few rounds. I will be posting the link to the stream in a few on Reddit, on Twitter, and on Facebook, and I'll be back in a few minutes for round 2. See you in a few minutes! Welcome back, everybody. So we're there for round 2. Lizerg, you've chosen the feature match. So talk to us a little bit about the players.
Okay, so I don't actually know any of the two players. I picked this feature match because the player on the left, MtG, or I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. Is Italian coordinator for the format, and
Okay.
the chat was really vocal about having him in the feature match. So why not?
Let's try this. So we have Marath, Will of the Wild against Geist of Sintras, Sanaya versus Azorius. Can you present to us a little bit the general strategies of those two decks?
Okay, so there are various deck lists possible for both of the commanders, so it's hard to know without seeing them, but generally Marath will try to is a mid-range deck with a combo finish, with a Kiki-Jiki combo in the end, and having a lot of acceleration with Mana Dork, some Planeswalkers, and trying to control the board with the commander, which is able to kill a lot of stuff. And Geist of Suntrath is usually more of a tempo deck with trying to protect his commander and kill creatures so it can get through, equip some sword on it, and things like that, so it can get the opponent off balance just enough time for him to win the game.
Okay, it's more of a tempo deck then.
That's correct. You have some cards like Armageddon to also to get some free wins on if the opponent has a bit of a slow start.
You can play Armageddon and Ravages of War in the format, right?
That's correct. So you have two
Armageddons.
Two Armageddons, if you want to.
Okay, and then a few soft counters like mana leak, miscalculation, and such. I guess.
Yeah. You play a lot of counters and some removal spells as well, and yeah.
Well, you don't have much removal in straight blue white. Well, yeah, you have Journey to Nowhere and such.
Yeah, you have
outside of Path to Exile and
Slow
Spores.
Share. You can go as far as some stuff like Oust or even go in the more expensive with Oblivion Rings and for when you really need to kill something.
Yeah, I see. So interestingly, the mulligan rules changed since the last DTC. Now we are using the Vancouver mulligan. So it's just a normal, straight up magic mulligan. You draw 7 cards and then you...
Yeah, same mulligan as in every other format now. Okay, so Florence started with a Mirror's Guile, which is kind of a Silver Library, but without the cool part. So
okay, it's more like a Sensei's Divining Top.
yeah, okay, you get a free top activation in every upkeep. And yes, some
And
acceleration, but
Llanowar Elves.
yeah, on turn 2, so not as good.
Indeed, when you start with Mirror's Guile, it doesn't do much for the first returns, but you set up for the mid game.
Yeah, that's correct. Like it will give him a good. Whoa, okay. So I saw Emrakul in Florence deck. So
we're setting his wall deck list. I saw
Okay.
Evolutionary Leap.
Okay, so the reason I think he's playing Emrakul is because he has most likely Pattern of Rebirth and Academy Rector.
Okay,
So if
you can
has,
tutor up the.
yeah,
the
he can
Emrakul.
use Marat to kill his Rector and then kill the creature. And I saw as well some Psyche Outlet in his deck. So
Okay, so this is not a straight up usual Marath. Maybe
I mean,
more.
you see this combo sometimes, but it's a bit clunky, so you don't see it in the ever list. It's not free to. Okay, so we have
a meddling mage.
turn 2 meddling mage, like not the original art. No.
Yeah, well, Crispicula would be very mad. It's the Alara Reborn one, and not even the usual judge meddling mage. No, just plain old Alara. Do you have an idea what you would name against Maras? Mara?
You have to. Like, if you don't name the general, you could just play a land and kill it anyway. You don't have any specific information about his hand, so you have to name the general.
It's funny how, well, some cards become way better in Duel Commander, like Meddling Mage, because you have a card you're sure you can take out of the opponent's hand.
It's good and not good, because if the commander is already in play, then good luck finding it, knowing what your opponent has.
True. So for 4 mana, we're seeing Garruk, a white speaker.
Yes, that's the original one from Norwin. So it's really fast out from Florent, which has a lot of acceleration, and is most likely going to be able to do more stuff than Mitchell. That is, it's going to be hard for Mitchell to keep up with multiple spells a turn, Planeswalker already on the battlefield.
Yeah, when you're in blue-white like that,
And
a Stoneforge Mystic, so yeah, Florent is really developing his board crazy fast. We're just only turn 3, and he already has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 non-land permanents on the board. So that's quite the first few turns.
That's correct. I wonder what he's gonna get. There is the best one is Skull Clamp usually, but I saw Basilisk Cola, which is a way to give a... Okay, so he's gonna go for Skull Clamp, which is a fine magic card, as you...
Very balanced, very balanced. So, he went for Skull Clamp. You don't... yeah, when Skull Clamp is legal, you never go for Battle Skull, right?
well,
pretty
no,
rarely. It's
like,
not really...
Battle Skull is very rarely played in this format. You can see sometimes... swords like Swords of Feast and Famine is usually the most played, but the blue-red one is played as well. Mizawa's GT, of course, and yeah, as I mentioned, Basilisk Scholar is one that is played in Maras because it gives Death Touch. So
Death Touch and lifelink, yeah.
Yeah, and if Marat with Death Touch,
yeah, it can ping
only 1 mana to kill
any creature.
So that's pretty good.
Okay, so we have a chum block with the Stoneforge already to protect the life of Garruk. Okay, why not? And then a Gitax and Probe, revealing Enlightened Tutor and the Skull Camp.
Okay, and Enlightened Tutor is a very powerful card in Marat because
you can find survival.
Okay, yeah, you can find survival. But he would need a creature in hand, which he doesn't have yet.
Well, he has Skull Clamp. He has infinite cards in hand.
Well, not infinite, but because, yeah, it's not free for him to clamp his creature. Like, he really reduces mana to do so. But yeah, that's a possibility. Another option is Pattern of Rebirth, which I guess he's playing since he's playing Emrakul, but it's a bit risky. So Bursting Pod is another one. Let's see what it goes for.
So Pattern of Rebirth is one of the best way to cheat out a creature because it also searches for it. It's like a show and tell, but you have to find a way to kill your creature.
It's a bit risky because if the opponent has a kill spell in response to the enchantment, then
you get really wrecked. But it's funny because Pattern of Rebirth, for example, is a card that you see very often in cubes, but it's very unpopular. It goes very late in picks, even though it's a card that has a very, very high power.
Okay, so Bursting Pod it is. Yeah, but in cube it's harder to set up. Like it's really high setup cost for the card. In EDH at least you can build your deck around it. Like with Marat, for example, you will always have Marat itself to either enchant and like kill itself, or kill the creature you enchant with.
It's true, you have more ways to use it. So Bursting Pod with Mirror's Guile, which it's pretty nice because you get shuffles.
Yeah, but like if he doesn't want to draw that Bursting Pod now, he can not draw it. But
yeah, but once he plays Bursting Pod, it's pretty nice to have the Guile.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I mean,
getting a shuffle each turn.
It's good with shuffle effects. But like if Mitchell has a
counterspell?
A counterspell here for the Bursting Pod, then I guess Florent still has
he still has a Skull Camp, so I think he's in a fine spot currently.
I would assume that Michele has at least one counterspell since he doesn't play Geist, which would be really good at pressuring Garruk.
Yeah, the problem here, so the Skull Camp resolves, and...
Okay, so what is he gonna do?
He's gonna pay and equip it to the Narwhal, so he's gonna draw 2 cards.
One card that is... Okay, so we can see Remand in... and I believe we can see a Cataclysm, which is a huge card in this matchup, and in Geist in general. because this is what will can allow Michele to come back from.
It can definitely turn the tide by itself.
Like he can be really really far behind and like suddenly be in a winning position because of how absurd the card is.
Ooh, yeah. If there was no Cataclysm, this Vexing Shusher would be very good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the card. It's like really mana intensive, only protects your creature, I believe. Oh no, it protects everything.
It's really nice. Against blue decks, you're quite happy to have it somewhere.
Okay, so he's gonna cycle his remand.
Yeah, so just draw a card.
Okay,
Or maybe he doesn't
oh,
know.
no.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the right to. Okay, so it looks like it took it back.
He just wanted
He
to.
didn't cast his remand after all.
Okay, so why not? Flora, let's him rewind. We get a Garruk.
So
-1?
Does he? Okay, yeah, -1. I believe he didn't have enough mana to. He could have played the Bursting Pod this turn, but not activate it. Or
I think he doesn't have it in hand, since he only had Skull Clamp and Tutor. He tutored and put Bursting Pod on top, and he had only one draw, so it had to be Vexing Crusher.
He drew 2 cards from the Skull Clamp.
Ah, yes, I forgot the Skull Clamp. This card is broken.
It's fine.
So.
Let's see. How can so the whole game is going to be about this Cataclysm. So we can see a Mental Misstep, which is a bit too late for Michele, which wasn't able to counter the Skull Clamp.
Yeah, a few turns late, and I don't think he has Cataclysm if he's playing True Name Nemesis, right?
It could have it. Like, is it? I believe this is From the Vault art in his hand.
From the Vault. Ah, okay, Cataclysm.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe, but it would have been a very good turn to cast it, right? Or
I'm not sure it would have been very good this turn. Like, he need a big threat. Like,
yeah, True Name. So he keeps True Name.
Yeah.
Kills Garruk next turn, maybe.
Well, yeah, well,
plus,
Cataclysm kills all the planeswalkers, like all the time. Which
it's yeah, you choose what you keep, and then the planeswalker.
You choose like you choose one land, one creature, and one artifact and one enchantment per player. So all planeswalker get sacrificed, I think. It's like, but yeah, it's really really good at dealing with planeswalkers.
Okay, I have to admit I didn't play much with Cataclysm. So, if he cast it next turn, he will keep his True Name Nemesis. Opponent will keep Skullclamp and Mary's Guile. And as for creatures, that's the annoying part. He won't have much. That's where the Cataclysm will have the most effect.
Mart is a very very mana hungry deck, so destroying lands is like really really good for Michele. But he needs to get something going first, or Florent will have time to rebuild. Geist is usually a very good thing because, okay, well, that's going to make things a lot harder for Michele if he's not able to have a source to plowshare or something similar, because this Academy Rector can get the pattern of rebirth we talked about earlier.
And as it's put into play, you don't even have to choose a target, so
yes.
You cannot fizzle it just with the swords, or if you
no, but
it's when the creature dies, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So with the swords you can, but not with a lightning bolt, for example.
Yeah.
Unless you are able to kill all the creatures in response to the trigger, I guess. But then he can get another enchantment if he wants to. But now, I mean, Florent doesn't have any way to kill his Rector yet. Like, he has a Bursting Pod in hand, I assume. But, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, Bursting Pod. Is he able to... let me think about it. Like, he can sacrifice the Rector, get a 5-drop. And no, I don't think there is any way to...
So speaking of lightning bolts, we see Psionic Blast in the hand of...
Well, that's an expensive lightning bolt, but... Okay, so what it could do is Psionic Blast the Shusher, so he's able to counter the Bursting Pod, because
So yeah, indeed, we see the From the Vault Cataclysm, and he's still choosing not to fire it off.
Yeah, well, he had X first, so I believe you can't really like you can't really fire off the Cataclysm right now because you will sacrifice the Rector by doing so. So it's like.
But okay, he would therefore keep maybe the Beast or the Treasure.
I think he would just keep an elf because
for the mana.
Just so you can enchant it with a Pattern of Rebirth. The Rector dies, and then
Skull
Clamp it and use the Skull Clamp as a sacrifice outlet and get an Emrakul or something similar.
So yeah, currently he has to find a way to handle this Rector without killing it.
Yep, that's correct. It could be just a disenchant though, without a Viscera Seer, which like you can't. There is no similar effect in Naya Colors. I believe I saw like some artifacts that had.
Yeah, you can find artifacts like Phyrexian Altar or something like that.
Yeah, it's not the one I saw. I think I saw the Ashnod something, the one when you can sacrifice for 2 colorless. I'm not sure of the name.
Ashnod's Altar?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
So he has this one in his end currently?
In his deck. I saw it while he was shuffling. So that would be one way to...
With Commander, I think it's easier to focus on the battlefield in the first place, because it already gets pretty crowded. So.
Well, not all the time, but yeah. Here it is definitely, Marat is kind of go wide. Lots of permanence in the deck, not very many instants.
So Michel has a Geist, and we'll try to remand the Bursting Pot, so it costs 1 mana to make it uncounterable.
Okay, so
he will still draw his card.
Yeah, but now Florent still has 1 mana left over to activate the Bursting Pot. Land tax for Michel, which can be a very good post Cataclysm.
Yeah, you're happy to have this enchantment.
Yeah, you just have a threat, so you are then it's forced to play lands, and that's very good. Okay, let's see. Oh, and Florent still had the Garruk activation. So what could he get? I mean, usual 5 drops in Marat are Karmic Guide, which is not really useful. Zero Skull Script.
It gets
Jiki.
If he gets Karmic Guide, he can get the Rector back and keep it again?
I believe if he plays Kiki, no, he cannot get the Rector back because the ability from the Rector exiles it.
Okay.
It's a trigger, you can get back in response, but if you do, you don't get an enchantment.
Okay.
If he plays
it's an intervening
all the Kiki combo cards, he can win this turn because he can sacrifice the Rector, get Pattern of Rebirth, put the pattern on the elf, get, I don't know, like Kiki, get Kiki, then
and with the pod,
equip Skull Clamp to the elf. The elf dies.
Get the other part,
and then you get the other.
Okay.
So that's one way to do it.
And I think he has leftover mana even to pay for the treasure if Michel has a Force of Will.
It's not even like you're not even casting any spell. Like it's just.
Oh yeah. You're just activating, equipping.
Yeah,
so
that's all you're doing. So yeah, I mean there are cards that exist, but.
Snapback.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
You can go deep.
But I don't think Mitchell is playing those cards, and I'm pretty sure I haven't seen them in his hand.
List with that. So they're currently in the process of maybe sorting a few things out. So.
Okay, let's see. Maybe Florent is not even playing the Kijiki combo. We saw Emrakul in his deck, so
yeah, maybe. Well, it would be weird. Like it only takes 3 slots, right?
Yeah, I mean the Kijiki combo is, is very very powerful in Marat, and you can have some survival chains to set it up very easily. So I would definitely not recommend not playing it. But no,
So-
Skullclamp stays in play.
In play, he draws 2 before resolving. The pod?
I believe he just orders a trigger as he wants, so he might as well search first in case he draws a card.
No, I think he.
There are 2 death triggers.
Yeah, but it's not. Okay, yes, with the rector,
Okay.
you resolve the rector
Okay.
first.
You have to resolve the pod last.
Yeah, you go rector, skullclamp, pod, right?
That's the best order, but you can resolve clamp before rector if you want to.
Yeah, but it doesn't really make sense. So we
So-
get the pattern of rebirth. Is that right? Yes.
Yeah, that's what he got.
So we get the pattern of rebirth, which will be equipped to, which will be attached to the elf. Florent will then shuffle, draw 2 from the skullclamps, and search again.
Yeah, I mean,
And you cannot really shortcut that since you have a shuffle in between.
yeah, like he's playing a miracle as I see people in the chat asking, but yeah, that's one thing to get with a pattern if you don't have a way to get another combo piece like you can right now.
But I saw
So-
Zealous Conscript, so I don't think he would have Zealous Conscript in his
I
deck
mean-
if he doesn't have Kiki. And we saw Resto Angel.
Yeah, well, Rust Angel is like a great card.
True.
I've done some cool things with Zealous Conscript as well, but I probably wouldn't play this card. So yeah, I see Kiki.
We see the Kiki. So original Kamigawa art.
Good choice, good choice. Can only so with a Gadok.
Yeah, the higher we'll go into table, the more altars and
I'm
such.
not
there will be.
sure, but I believe I saw Warping Wave in Florent's list.
Warping Way. Well, like he has a few colorless lands. We see 2 here with Canopy Vista and
No,
the green
Canopy
white.
Vista doesn't make colorless mana.
Oh, it's only colored. Okay, but he has the pain land.
Yes, I mean you have a few in the list, but you don't have that many.
It
It's-
counters the wrath.
Well, I'm not saying the effect is very good. I would play it for sure if it was easy to cast, but
The problem is the mana cost, definitely. So we see a Zealous Conscript, and so this was searched on the pod. Let's put that on the left, since not much is happening on Michel's side. So same, Skullclamp equipped on the elf. You have 2 death triggers, so you choose which one you resolve first. Likely you want to resolve the pattern to be sure to get
Yeah,
your Kiki. And Michel scoops.
yeah, he know what's coming. Like
And that was a pretty convoluted combo turn with
Yeah, I
pattern of
mean,
reverse, Skullclamp, Rector, but you got there.
that's very common in EDH to have to go through some convoluted turns to set up those combos, but
Everything's fine. So yeah, he had to tutor what 3 times to get his combo or 2?
yes.
Well, yeah. So yes, the meddling mage naming Maras was annoying for Florent, but in the end he managed to navigate around this.
He had quite a good draw with
You can put
both-
by the way,
both,
because I'm sure they don't.
both Enlightened Teaser for Bursting Pod that resolved and the Skullclamp that drew him a couple of extra cards. So it's Michele was not able to come back from the mana disadvantage that he had in the early games thanks to the elves, and he wasn't able to engineer a board state where Cataclysm was good enough for him to come back. But he's
Yeah.
going to be on the play, which is a huge deal in this matchup. It's really about tempo. So, I can see Brainstorm, Mishra's Factory. What else?
And
Mich-
that will be a mulligan
yeah,
from
I think I
Michel.
saw a lot of lands. So Michel mulligans.
He had Brainstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad habit to keep lands just because you have Brainstorm and a lot of lands. You shouldn't be doing that. We'll say it's not Michel but Michele.
Yeah, I'm sorry about
Maybe
that.
we're sorry.
Yeah, we pronounce it the French-ish way.
Mimish. No, maybe we won't
Because
go
we
that
didn't
far.
know. So okay, we'll call him Michele. It's thank you for letting
For the
us know.
information. So Florent keeps his hand. Marat looks very redundant, doesn't it?
Well, yes, you have a lot of choosers. I'm not sure how many exactly, but you have Worldly Tutor, Eladam Risco, Bursting Pass, Survival of the Fittest for a Shaman, Prince and Zenith, and Enlightened Tutor for like. You often have to tutor for tutors.
Yeah, and then
Like-
you have pod. You said pod and
Yeah, I
survival.
said you have Imperial Recruiter. If
Okay.
he's playing it, like the card is quite expensive, so I know some players are not playing it because of that. But it's very good.
They're waiting for Eternal Masters and hope it's in it.
I think it's pretty likely.
I don't think so. It's way too expensive. Like the EV of the box, the expected value would be too
No.
high for Wizards. Like
I
the
don't
price
know,
could
like,
end up selling at
Th- th-
$20.
There is not a really high demand for the card. Like it's the
Yeah, but it's the problem is that they are very cautious regarding the.
yeah, I don't know. Like maybe they don't want to
prices.
lower the price of a card that they gave as judge gift, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's there. Like I don't know.
We'll see. So we have it's which elf is it already? Findorn? Findorn elves here.
Yes, that's that one. It's a From the Vault 20.
Okay, so the new Findorn elves and Michele goes for. Okay, we have a small.
Let's see. So Gitaxian Probe. So we have Waterfoot, Zealous Conscript, Evolutionary Leap, and some lands, I believe.
Looks like it's. Here we go.
Okay, so Counter is pretty good in this format. Every
The
color.
perfect land every
But
game.
It's not actually perfect because we were talking about colorless mana.
That's
and
true.
With actual rules of dual commander, let's say you have a City of Brass and you are trying to add blue mana when playing Marat,
Yeah.
then it will produce
Colorless.
You can try, but it will produce colorless instead, which means all the
Colorless.
every color source of mana will also provide colorless unless you are playing five color, which is kind of weird. And I believe it's going to change because that was the same rule for multiplayer commander, but it changed at Oath of the Gatewatch release, and I think it's very likely that they change as well for at the next ban list announcement. We'll see.
Okay.
But, so that's
So yeah.
command to word doesn't work though because it's the words
Yeah.
it's only
Mana, the color of your commander.
yes, so you cannot try to add blue and then get colorless. Okay, so is he gonna get stifled? So Michele fetched in response to.
This looks like a stifle, definitely.
Well, it could be just a shortcut as well. Because shuffling takes a lot of time. It seems like it was just a shortcut.
Oh snap! Because well, he has brainstorm, so you don't want to use your shuffles lightly in a brainstorm.
Well, that is true, but if his hand is already very good, he might just want to go on the mana efficiency play. But yeah, well, I do agree that I mean the player in English often try to not use brainstorm as well. Like they don't. Okay, so
it's gonna get hit by spell snare, I guess.
yeah.
So
Spell
War Freak gets hit by spell snare, but Floor had quite the hand. Actually, he had evolutionary leap. When we saw on the probe.
Well, yes. Okay, so I just saw Ravage of War is a draw for Michele for this turn, and I believe it also has Cataclysm. So if he has a fourth land, that's going to be really hard for Florent. He has to play something really good this turn. Yeah, that's. But he also has a Council's Judgment, but no fourth land, I believe.
Well, it's still a pretty powerful hand. He has. Yeah, he has interaction on most sides. He can handle any permanent.
Yeah, I mean, if he
players.
doesn't play a land, he can at least play Council Judgment on whatever Florent plays. Okay, it seems like Florent is going to play 2 cards. Yeah, Devoted Druid and the Findon Elf that was bounced earlier.
By the Vapor Snag. Perhaps. Wait, I'll be re-putting the card properly. Okay, they should be cleaner now. So Michele attacks with his gates. Devoted Druid is a 0/1, right?
It's a O2 because you can put one counter once on it.
Okay.
So Michele also has the Trocker thing. I'm not sure of the name exactly. Which, when you play Cataclysm of Ravage of War, you get.
Oh yeah, Flagstone of Shokari.
Yeah, Flagstone of Stroker, that's correct. So which one is gonna play? Like, both are very good. I would go towards Cataclysm because I don't know. Yeah, you either leave him with two creatures or one creature and one land. So 2 mana.
Yes,
either
but
way.
you can interact pretty positively with. Let's say, oh shit.
So I would have guessed. I'm not sure. I would have gone towards Armageddon, I think, but.
The good part with Cataclysm here is that you get back to 2 mana, sacrificing your Flagstone, and then if you draw a land, you can cast your Council's Judgment.
Well, yeah. Okay.
If you go Cataclysm, you just go back to 1 land.
Yeah, that is true. But one good thing about leaving him with Armageddon, I mean Ravage of War, is that Florent only has green mana afterwards. Like, now he has all 3 like. If he gets a red or white source, he can just play Maras on next turn. So
I see, indeed. It's true that Cataclysm would have shut off any colored mana.
So I'm not sure which is better. Like, both were very close. Also, like,
I think
if you play Armageddon, then Cataclysm will likely be better than later in the game than Armageddon would be if you play Cataclysm. But on the other hand, Michele didn't have any land at that so he would go down to only 1 because of the Flagstones. I think being on 2 lands is good. Like, in top deck the land, so he's going to be able to cancel Judgment away the Maras, which is huge.
Yeah.
And
I guess Florent votes for Marat too.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to, but it's
not the best choice.
there's a lot of text on this card just to.
There's just a lot of text to say Oblivion Ring,
Yeah, it's
which can target hexproof.
Yeah, that's basically what it is, and you only choose that resolution. You don't target.
Yeah,
But-
that's the whole strength of the thing. It's pretty hard to stop, and it can handle True Name Nemesis in particular. It was
Yeah.
released a few months
In case of
after
Sundraft, True Name Nemesis, untapped Mother of Runes as well. So there is not much you can do about Council Judgment. I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
believe there's no way to protect your creature from that. Like, literal no way in all Magic. Well, you can bounce it to your hand in response, I
yeah,
guess.
but it doesn't really protect from the resolution.
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
once you
like-
start resolving Council Judgment, you
Yeah,
just can do
that's
whatever.
Okay, so Evolutionary Relief for Florent,
Oh.
which is not great.
Maybe you can have you can do something if one of your cards has a replacement ability when it exiles. So if you have a card which says when this card gets exiled, blah blah blah, you could get away with Council Judgment, but I don't think there are many. I don't think it even
there
exists.
Any? I'm not sure. Okay, so there's
We get the lip.
Michele draw a Stoneforge Mystic for this turn, so quite good.
Oops.
So what is it gonna get? Sword, GT. Would most likely go with GT.
But a green sword is already pretty good as well, since Florent is only at 9. Like, its GT is pretty good if you expect the game to go a bit longer. But since Florent is at 9, if you take a green-black sword, you can very
Well-
likely attack through anything next turn.
I guess that would also make the. Yeah, I actually don't really like GT now that I think about it, because it's you have evolutionary leap, so Florent can always block and sacrifice, and you won't get encounters. So I like the green black sword, I think.
Yeah, Feast and Famine.
Yeah, that's the one. Not so much for the effect, but more for the protection, so the gates can go all the way.
Yeah, and he's at 9,
Yeah,
so
that's what he's gonna get.
we get the sword. And we'll likely be back to Florent, so... Yeah, he cannot really use Evolutionary Leap because he needs the mana.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very slow card. I'm not a big fan of it in general. And when you're behind, you just usually can't use it. The best use you would have for it if he has Pattern of Rebirth or
Academy Reactor.
yeah.
It's a good sacrifice outlet. It's a decent one in green.
I mean, what if he plays a land? and an academy rector like right now, he just gets an Miraculum to play this turn, and there is not much Michele can do about it.
It's true, but I don't think he has that. He has a Gaddock Tig, a Tectonic Edge. He can attack Michel's, well, he can attack some of his mana, but not enough to stop the...
He can play Marat this turn, which will be a 5/5, which would be pretty good. Like if Michele draws a land, then he can just play the sword with. Okay, so one of the thing he can do is, untap. So play Marat.
Yeah, and Wasteland, the Tundra.
Yeah.
So that even a top deck land doesn't kill him. But then a top deck.
But it doesn't like. I mean, Michele is still going to be able to activate his Stoneforge Mystic on his turn and put in the sword. So, let me think about it. I believe Florent had
A combo?
Reclamation Stage in hand when we saw his hand very early in the game.
Oh, true.
So
The problem is that, Michele will just put it into play at the end of Florent's turn.
well, it depends. Like, if Florent has a land, he can just kill the Stoneforge Mystic, which would force Michele to put it into play right away, and then he can play the Reclamation Stage. And
So he has
Yeah.
enough mana? He has only 4 mana, right?
I believe he would need another one.
Yeah, he needs another land, and
Yeah,
I don't
if-
think he has one.
I'm not sure. Like, is that? Yeah, it's stomping around.
Okay,
so
he has it.
So
It's down to 7, it's still pretty scary.
yeah, I mean, it would put him in danger because.
In the danger zone.
Okay, so he's gonna make a token. Let's see. Okay, it seems like he didn't see the play and want to activate Evolutionary Leap to get
Woodland Behemoth?
Woodland Bellower.
Bellower.
So pretty good gun, but it's a 6-drop. It's not gonna be good enough, I think. So he's at 7.
Yeah, well, at the same time, the play you described, it doesn't. It gets wrecked by his 4-spike, days, and such.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not in a spot where you can really play around those cards anymore.
But maybe he was searching for a non-green blocker. Something like artifact creatures, he must have a few ones. Karmic Guide.
Yeah, like you can't really cast Arming Guide. The cheapest one I can think of is Weathered Wayfarer. But like the most important thing is if it doesn't really matter if guys get through or not. I mean, it means lethal or not is important, but if guys can just attack and survive, then From will drop down to 3 and another attack.
No, he dies because he plays Stomping Ground on tap.
Yeah, I meant like, let's say if he plays a blocker for Geist,
Yeah.
he still takes 4 from the Angel, Geist doesn't die, and so was that is that an expedition? I think it's a dust bow, I think? I'm not sure.
It's an expedition, and it's a kill from the Geist.
Okay, so it's lethal.
Yeah.
1 and 1.
The Cataclysm really did all the heavy lifting there.
Yeah, I mean, you often need a similar effect like that to come back from Marat start with Geist. Like you don't really have many ways.
Are you playing Wrath in Maras, like Wrath of God, Day of Judgment, Terminus?
Well, you're not playing all of them. You can play some. I know some people do play some of them, and some don't play any because it's a bit of a number with your commander, but sometimes it's the only way to get back in the game. So I believe in the chat I read that Michele plays some, so I don't know how many, but
Does Terminus see play, by the way? Because since Sensei Divining Top got banned, I guess it doesn't.
Well,
really...
it's not really about Sensei's Divining Top. It's more about Mystical Tutor. That was a big reason to play Terminus.
And it's banned as well.
It's banned now, so I believe it's been 6 months now.
Okay.
And
more, because at last DTC I think it was banned already. In June last year.
yeah, I don't know. It
Maybe
was
a
like
year
2
ago.
ban lists ago, maybe
Okay.
3. Oh, so we don't really see Terminus anymore. There are not many
And so he has an
Way too-
interaction with commander and terminus. So in
Well-
duel you can put it in the command zone, right?
Yeah, you like there is no way you can get screwed and get rid of your
Not
commander
play
for
with the commander.
unless you are careless, because let's say you put it on an Oblivion ring, for example, and you leave it there, and if your disenchantment gets countered, then you are screwed unless you find another way to blow up the Oblivion ring.
Mhm. Okay, yeah. If you choose to let him go to another zone than the command zone, then you can be in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, you can always choose to do so, but you cannot change your mind afterwards. You have to make him leave this zone for
By
some
yourself.
reason.
Yeah.
Like, let's say he dies and you have some reanimate spell, and but your reanimate spell gets countered, then it stays in the graveyard. But if you have something like a Relic of Progenitus, and you exile it, then you will be able to put it back in the command zone. So it's not an interaction we see too often. Like 99% of the time, you just put it back in the command zone. But
It can happen. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it definitely can. Like some commanders really need to
So
to be put in the
Michele's,
graveyard.
I guess, mulliganing. I think they sideboard it. They shuffled already.
Yeah, I believe he's mulliganing to 6, which is not good, but when he was on the play in game 2, it was fine for him.
Hey, he has quite a few standard cards in the matchup.
Yeah, it's not much about card advantage, more about tempo and how you can leverage that.
Mm. Yeah, because you have to, like, Maras will start way faster than you every single game.
Well, not every single game, like sometimes you can keep up, but yeah, well, you're not a favorite.
He plays all the 1 mana acceleration.
Maybe not Boral Druid, because colorless mana is...
You cannot cast Marath off of it.
Yeah, but he's playing a lot of them, and
Yeah.
he's even usually in match you don't even have enough 1 mana, so you play some 2 mana ones, such as Sylvan Caryatid, Wall of
Sure.
Fruits.
We saw the Roll of Fruits, especially.
Yeah, and Devoted Druid as well. So you really have a lot of way to get ahead on mana and try to make the tempo to cards that Michele is playing much worse. But as we saw, a timely Armageddon or Cataclysm, and it's very easy for guys to run out with the game.
Maybe a Wrath, just Wrath of God, could be enough, because outside of Florent drawing a Planeswalker, it can really get the tempo back into Miracle's hand.
Yes, sometimes you have to have a Wrath. It's not that hard to play around.
He has a Mind Sensor. This looks very good against Marath.
It actually isn't, like...
Oh yeah,
Why?
he has Marath and he can ping it.
Yes, you can just kill it with Marat.
Okay.
Okay, so going down, it seems like...
Down to 5. So you go a bit closer to the microphone, by the way. Just
Yeah.
sit closer. Then
All right.
lean back.
Alright.
So he's going down to 5. Yeah, it's true, because when I saw Mind Sensor, I was like, Marath is deck that tutorials a lot, so it looks good, but indeed, Marath is pretty good against the hate cards as well.
Yeah, it doesn't stop everything, like...
It doesn't stop Linvala.
Yeah, Linvala is a big issue for the deck, but you still have a lot of tutor and usually Fiend Hunter and Flamtongue Kavu, which are 2 ways to get rid of it. But yeah, you cannot kill Linvala with a Marat unless I guess your opponent blocks with it or something like that, which is kind of dangerous to do.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Probably not,
So
yeah.
you have to use a Path to Exile or Source Explosion. Does it even play it?
Usually plays at least Source to Plowshare. I like Pass to Exile, but not every list plays it. Some list plays Council and Judgment as well.
Bolt, maybe?
Sometimes Bolt, but doesn't kill Linvala.
Yeah.
And overall, you don't play very many removal in Marat. Like you play the
Flame
best.
Slash.
You play the best one, but you don't usually go to play Flame Slash unless you expect a lot of Linvala, and then yes, you could play Flame Slash, but
So, which card is this?
it's Avacyn's Pilgrim, the
FNM.
I believe, yeah.
Oh yeah, I last time somebody also played the FNM Avacyn Pilgrim and I didn't remember. So same. He's coming back. So he has what, 10 1 mana elves?
I
Something
think
like
it's a
that?
bit less than that. You have like 3. I think you have like 7 or 8. I'm not sure. It depends on if you play Boral Druid.
Mm-hmm. So you get Avacyn Pilgrim, Birds of Paradise, Noble Hierarch, Lanra Elves, Mystic Elf, Findorn Elves. That's 6 already. Yeah, you can go much further. It's hard to go after that.
Yeah, it depends also of your color combination. You also have Elves of Deep Shadow and Noble Hierarch,
Yeah.
but you cannot play those in Marath because of the color
Oh,
identity.
you don't have the right to play Noble Hierarch?
No,
Huh?
you cannot because they're a blue mana symbol.
Oh.
Okay. So Yizan gets played, which is and Manatize, which could have been telegraphed a little bit by Michele, which had to play his Hallowed Fountain untapped
That-
on turn 1.
But since it's also a 30 life point format, I think you do it every time for the bluff factor.
I don't think so. Like it can, it depends on what it costs you, and you can do it sometimes, but you don't do it every time. Life is not free. Like sometimes you can be raised, and
So Isan is another tutor.
yeah,
For the
it's usually a class that gets played a lot as commander, and it's one of the more popular deck today, and one of the deck to beats for this tournament.
It
but
won the last DTC. So
that is true.
that makes sense.
But yeah, it's also a very powerful card in Marat, because if you can you have some chain to do with it, and if you can activate it with 3 counters on it, you can win the game instantly with some chain. Okay, so
You still need a bit of mana, right?
yeah, well yeah, but usually you can set up the mana with the previous activations.
Okay. Just to plow. So we see Teres Nielsen Sword to Plowshare on the Marath, and Florent makes a token. It's a plant token, right?
No, it's an elemental token.
Elemental, okay.
It's a 1/1. Like you can, if you pay 2 mana, you can make it 2/2 or 2/1/1,
Yeah.
whatever.
It's an elemental, okay. And Michele has Monastery Mentor. It's funny, like, your 3 mana creatures are all kind of outclassed by your... Yes, when you get to 3 mana, likely you want to play Geist.
Yeah, I mean, special. So here I could have played Mentor. It depends if he had a lot of instant in his hand.
Mhm.
Florent has, has Marat. So if he is able to replace Marat, resolve it, and Michele doesn't have a kill spell, then Mentor can get swept easily. So that could be one reason why he didn't play it. But
Yeah, also,
yes,
Serum Vision is his hand. So next turn he can go Mentor Vision.
that's that's one way to do it. But I believe Mentor would be pretty safe for this turn, because Marat is 5 mana, so unless Florent has a Cradle, but even then, like, you just play his Force Land. Michele is most likely still going to need some kind of sword or some way to get Geist through. Like, it's Marat is deck full of creatures. It's really hard to attack with a 2/2 successfully.
Yeah, Grizzly Bear is not the best attacker against
Yeah.
decks that can play. Well, it would be a 5/5 if he plays Marath again, for example.
Yeah, I mean, just pretty much anything, like even double block, like we can see a Voice of Resurgence in Florent's deck.
So Lotus
Like,
Cobra.
that's a great blocker for Geist.
Interesting. He has crop rotation. I guess he's playing Geist Cradle.
Yeah, I mean, you just
If you have Green, you're playing Cradle.
yeah, you always play. Well, you
Not
always
in
play
Tassigor.
Cradle in those heavy mana, heavy elves deck.
Mhm.
You don't always play all the way to tutor for it, so it depends how good it is in your deck and how much you're willing to spend it. Like crop rotation, for example, is both very powerful and very risky. Like if you get counter on it, you lost your land. It's like really bad deal for you.
At the same time, it's a very good response to a Wasteland or anything
Yeah,
that
that
kills
is
a land.
true, but it's not that common, and usually people want to save their wasteland for your cradle anyway. So
Yeah, they keep it, they wait for it. But yeah, in the Tassigor is not playing Cradle, for example, of course, even though it's a green deck.
yeah, I mean, well, I've seen some Tassigor list with a lot of creatures and playing cradle, but no, okay. So Florent is going to play Marat on 5. So does Michele has a kill spell or something?
I didn't see one.
Okay, so I believe I saw Into the Road, So what he can do is into the royal the Marath.
Oh, this is into the royal. Okay, so it was Serum Vision, the new one.
Into the royal, Monastery Mentor, and Remand. So I will lean towards bouncing the Marath for 2, not drawing a card, and then Remand it on the way back.
But can he play it? He cannot play it on the way back right now. Oh, it's in the end, so it comes back for 3 mana.
Yeah, he will only
Okay.
cost 3 mana because it's.
Yeah,
in
he
his
chose
hand.
to get it in his hand. He could have chosen to get it in
I
the common.
Believe
but-
you can. For some time you couldn't.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you can now. I believe you can. Chat will likely have the answer.
We'll have the chat
it was. It was a very.
discussed.
It's only a useful thing for cards like Skullbriar, which loses all its counters if you put it in your hand, but doesn't if you put it in command zone.
Mhm. So yeah, it matters for a few commanders.
Well, but I basically, since that's the only one, I don't really think there's any. Okay, so Garuk, World Speaker, gets remanded. So basically, it's whole turn for Florent, I believe.
Yeah, he could have tried to play Marath twice, right?
If he had an untap land, I'm
Yeah,
not sure how many
well, it
lands
was
he
4
had.
mana here, so he still has
Yeah,
2.
if the color work, if he had all the colors, which I believe he did, he could have, yes.
Absence Pilgrim is a 1/1.
Yes, it is a 1/1, so it
Florent
can
can threaten
double.
double block.
Yeah, but like if it does, he's back on mana, and Michele can just replay Geist post combat. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're only gain 2, but you take his land, you are sure to resolve. You're sure to resolve your next spell if he plays something. You're sure to resolve either the Marath in your hand or the Garuk Wild Speaker. It makes it so, well, Michele loses a lot of time if you replace Geist here.
So, haha! He's going to use Stifle to stop the leave play trigger from
The
the angel. So Michele will have a 4/4 flyer that's failed on the battlefield. That's pretty great.
It costs 1 blue though, so you have to tap a land somehow.
Yeah, and unfortunately that means he cannot play Gaze this turn, but yeah, he has a mentor. Oh, I believe he made a mistake and should have played the mentor pre-combat.
Oh yeah, definitely. Since he has the mentor, it was definitely way better to play combat and get the token.
It's only a 1/1, but still.
It's not a 1/1 for long.
Yeah,
has
I mean,
progress.
he has no cards in hand, so it's. I mean, he could get in some damage, and the 4/4 flyer is going to be a big deal. So, getting some damage, like if you can go even 1 damage, that means 1 less turn with the 4/4.
Mhm. Yeah, I think if he's going the beat down route with a 4/4 flyer, it's definitely better to get any damage where you can. And
Yeah,
the double block looked pretty
Okay,
expected.
so is he gonna play Cradle? I mean,
Mentor.
yeah, he's going to activate Wasteland. What is going to target? You can kill a red source for Kiki-Jiki because it's like the most.
Color heavy. Color
Yeah,
deck.
that's what I would get as well. Like you can't really stop him from having a forest or
So
a color.
what did he
or-
get? I don't know non-blue duel.
It was a Taiga.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
From had all 3 duels like Taiga, Savannah, and Plateau, and he kills the red-green, the Taiga.
I only know Bayou outside of blue because you play it in bug.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
So here Florent can cast. He has double green. He can cast a Garruk and make a 3/3. It's pretty soft to the angel.
Yeah, that is true, but it gives him some time and stops the mentor from attacking, so it's not the worst. He could just play Marath. Michele is empty-handed, like.
Yeah, and he cannot even play his commander. It's 5 mana, and he went back to 4 by using the Wasteland.
I mean, he could just top deck a land now.
Yeah.
So.
But if you top deck land, it means no trigger for mentor, which means I think Florent is very good. It's in a very good spot.
I think you're overvaluing mentor a little bit. Like, it's not as easy to go like cantrip into cantrip and really go off.
It's true. I'm used to play it in Miracle, so for me, when a mentor lands and I can tap with it, I win like 90% of the time.
Florent goes down to 16 like this. Horizon
Yeah,
Canopy
the-
Life is not free.
Oh, but it's for an FTK.
Flame Tongue Cavu is huge. It kills the angel,
Like,
gets a 4-2 on the battlefield, which
it's crazy good on this board actually.
yeah, I mean it's really what he needed to. Actually, I would have attacked with a mentor before playing my land, I believe, because now
Yeah, and
Florent
as-
might just take the 2 damage to make sure he has a blocker for
For the Geist.
Geist.
Yeah, and the other thing is that Florent here can just play Marat
Okay,
and kill the
he
mentor.
chose not to attack, which kind of makes sense. Well, yeah, but if he plays Marat, and it means it doesn't.
Yeah, the
do
mentor
it.
doesn't really do anything when you know your opponent has Marat in hand.
So let's see. What's the best way for Michele to win this game? Like something like a sword. Like
Cataclysm does it, sort of.
Like, he needs a sword, but like Sword of Feast and Famine doesn't do it because
There is
Phantom
FTK,
Cavu is
yeah.
red, and
Maybe
if he had to switch
So
it's once, it's going to be so hard to recast
if
it. Like
Florent
7
goes
minutes.
for Marath, he can top deck the blue-red sword, Fire and Ice, and then
Yeah.
be in a pretty good spot.
That's correct.
Because he also kills the Flame Tongue Cavu
but-
with a sword.
well, yes and no, because Marat makes green token, so you can always chum block the Geist.
Oh yeah,
But
and he has mana.
At least he would be able to get in for damage with the Geist, and Florent would have to spend mana and counters every turn. Let's see. I believe I can see Scavenging Ooze in Florent's hand.
Every time
What
I see matches of this format, the first thing that comes to my mind is still we should be playing with 20 life points.
I
Florent got
mean,
beat down so hard. He should be at 6.
there is a lot of discussion about
Yeah,
that.
regarding,
and,
I know this is a
it's-
very big subject of
it
discussion.
could happen.
currently. Yeah, before the next DTC.
Maybe, who knows? So it's going to replay Marat.
So we get a 3/3 Marath. He could kill the mentor, but if he kills the mentor, he's dead to a top deck blue red sword. Well, not dead, but in a very bad spot.
Okay, well, that's very fortunate for Florent that he chose to play Marat, because now he won't have any trouble getting rid of this.
Melding MtG can
But-
just kill it end of turn if he wants to, but he doesn't even care.
I wonder what Michele named. It could be Marat in case Marat, which kind of forces him,
kill it.
Florent to kill instead of killing the mentor, for example, which is good. But he could also have named.
Okay. So
Uh,
we're in additional time.
It's turn 0 now.
Yeah, time got cold. And wait.
Alright, so let's see. I wonder what he named. He could have named Garruk because he knows Florent has Garruk in hands because he remembered it.
So it is a Garruk.
Okay, so
was
he named
named?
Garruk.
And Florent is currently playing turn 0 of additional turn. Maybe they have a few more minutes, right? They're in future table.
Yeah, I asked the judge to give them a couple more minutes because of the time to set up the feature match, which I believe they do. I assume it's time with the extra minutes for them.
Okay.
So Florent just played an Eternal Witness, which going to get back. I didn't see what it was.
Maybe just land at this point. If he can hit
Yeah,
his land drops in the
No, he's
in a
hitting
good
his
spot.
land drop. Like, was it the Devoted Druid? It's like something that was killed early in the game. Wall of Fruits, I believe, was
So-
turned to. Oh, I'm not sure if it was this game or last one.
Let's get this straight. Florent can still win this game in 3 additional turns. If he has 2 additional turns.
Yes, I mean, he's playing Infinite Combo in his deck and like 2 hits of Emrakul or something like that. But it doesn't look like he has anything close to Tutor Zeus up in his hand. But it does seem like he's going to be able to stabilize.
Yeah, but like only stabilizing is good for a draw.
Yeah,
Currently
I mean,
he has to play for the win.
yeah, for sure. But like, there is not much he can do towards that. Like, he could sack his Horizon Canopy, but like, if he draws, like, develop his mana is good, and so he can have as many options as possible if he draws some tutors. But he has to draw one of the one way to set up the combo. Like
Here,
I believe it doesn't have.
with the mana you have, can't you? I'm just thinking. Last turn you kill Meddling Mage. End of turn you play Gareth +1. Make a plant and replay Marat, and then make a ton of tokens and try to kill in the second additional turn with the overrun.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
depends which turn exactly it is.
Yeah, the turn 0 was full on.
It's a bit hard because
So he has 2 attack phases.
like it won't work because Michele can always attack with Geist and kill the Garuk. So
Oh yeah, you can, but it forces an attack. Yeah,
I mean
it's not a winning line.
I'm not saying it's a bad line. I'm just
But
saying
it's not winning the game.
It's not one that will win the game. The question is, can Mikkel still win this game? Or?
16 is a lot.
Yeah. What if he draws Cataclysm? I don't believe that's enough. So.
No, well,
Like-
Florent will just keep the Flame Tongue in block.
Yeah, or whatever, or Maras itself. Or something.
Even the Witness can block the Geist, so anything is clearly good enough here. Even a Wrath of God, which would clear up the board, it doesn't do anything here.
Yeah, it would go towards draw, but it's not towards winning the game, even with a lot of time.
Yeah, but I mean, in such a big tournament, we have 213 players. A draw is as good as a loss. Drawing in round 2 is just like losing round 2.
Let's think about it for 1 second. I believe that's correct, but so it's 120 in player. Is
213.
Yeah, but I mean the previous limit. So it's most
Okay.
likely, yes, as good as a loss. Like, even if Michele most likely has to win every match. I
So
mean,
at 1-0,
like-
right?
yeah, that's
Okay.
1-0. So if Michele, I mean, let's assume they draw, both players will have to win all their matches. Like if one of them loses, it's most X1-1 with the draw so early is most likely out. Maybe he can still get in, but it would not be very likely. But the plus side of having a draw is like if he wins everything, then in the last round he can draw again. He doesn't have to play. While if he has a loss and wins everything in the last round, it's likely still has to play.
X11 isn't enough, you think?
I mean, some people would get in on X1-1, but those are the people who will start 3-4 or something like that. Not
yeah.
if you get a draw or loss that early. But if you go X0-1, and in the last round you can go with like 6-0-2 double draw. This always gets in, no matter how many players you have.
So we have 8 rounds, right? I think we're under 256. So I think this is 8 rounds. So yes, 6-1-1 should be tough, and that would be a problem.
Okay, so it seems like Florent is deep in thinking. He's taking his down now that he's in his extra turns.
Extra turn doesn't mean everybody's waiting for you. That's the opposite. Extra turn means you already took too much time to finish your match.
I mean, I'm saying it's good for tournaments. I'm just saying what's good for him as a player. Right?
Definitely. But I'm part of the people who think like when you are in the extra turn, it's not the time to take more time. Is it? You're already late. So we got a handshake. I guess this is a draw. I'll ask.
Let's see.
So we get a draw.
Yeah, they drew. Like it makes sense. Like it would be better for them that if any of the two players won, but it's hard to concede when you know a draw is, like I said, it's not as bad as a loss, but it's close. But if you win everything, you can still draw in the last round where you would have to play otherwise. So it's hard to justify conceding so early. But
It makes sense here to not consider it.
if
The best solution is to not draw. Just play fast enough and don't have
that would
draws.
have been the best. But on the one hand, for Michele, it was not looking good for him this game. Like he multi 5 and try to get some.
Something going.
Yeah, I mean his stifle play was very good and could definitely have been enough. But
Without the Phantom Cavalry. Like,
Phantom Cavalry
Phantom
was
Cavalry
key.
definitely returns the tempo of the game. So we will be back in around 5 to 10 minutes for round 3.
Well, maybe a little more. Like we have a lot of
Yes,
players.
there is a lot of extra time, but we already saw a game in the
Okay.
extra time with extra
Okay,
time.
so we'll get back as soon as round 3 starts
Yes.
with a new feature match.
So we'll get a 2-0 match. We'll keep covering the top
Okay,
tables for the moment.
Should we bring Michele for like a couple minutes?
Well, I think they already left, sort of. Well,
I can go get him.
okay, go get him if you
Let's-
can find him. We're gonna have a short interview of Michele. That's a good idea. So I hope you're enjoying the stream. I cannot read the chat at the same time I'm showing the cards. I'll be trying to have a space dedicated to showing the cards later. Since I'm doing it while I'm commentating, it's not always easy to be fluid. So if you want a card to be shown, don't hesitate to ask in the chat. Lizard is reading it most of the time on his phone. So we'll be as reactive as we can. And here we go. So sit here.
Oh. My English is Italian.
Okay, that's all right. Our English is French, so.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so yeah, we took you to in the film to match area because the chat asked about you when I said I was picking the feature match, so why not? And,
Well, I'm very happy about that. Yeah, it was a tough matchup.
yeah, I mean, I know Geist is done favors, and you had the good draw in game 2 to with the Cataclysm timely, and it was very good.
The land on the Council Judgment, that one
Yeah,
was
yeah,
very important.
You had the lands on the top of your deck right at a
Yeah,
good time, and you had something going in game 3 with a stifle on the angel. When you got the angel with
yeah, when I step for the end.
yeah, that was a line that could have worked, but unfortunately he had the flame tongue cavus at
Yeah, I hope to win the game with the with the
yeah,
angel,
yeah,
but
that's it's usually pretty good. Like Marat doesn't have a lot of way to deal with flyers, like especially huge flyers, but
yeah, I think that was one of the only cards you can have to deal with it.
I
Swords
mean-
to Plowshares was okay.
Finhunter as well, or like
I don't know if he
well,
plays it.
maybe he doesn't play it, but that's one card we see sometimes.
Yeah, yeah,
And maybe some way to give Death Touch to Marat as well.
yeah.
But I mean, it definitely could have worked.
He was a very good player, by the way. Yeah, I like it. I made some mistakes in the first game. I think I should have played more greedy, more aggro, and don't play the Melee Mage, but Geist on turn 3, and then Cataclysm immediately.
Okay, yeah, it's hard to because sometimes if they have mana dogs they can restart
Yeah,
quite fast.
yeah.
So we couldn't quite really see your hand, so you didn't look too bad on camera.
Okay,
I'm not sure. How
so in
obvious
camera
it
it was okay.
Yes, we saw some cats sometimes, but don't worry about it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so you are the Italian coordinator for.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so I don't know if there is anything you want to say about that.
Well, I'm very happy to have obtained this position. I mean, I'm doing a lot of things in Italy to let dual commander spread. We are gathering a lot of people, and I felt very happy yesterday when we arrived and there was a trial with 15 people. Our bigger tournament is with 15 people, 50 people. So we have a lot to do to work.
Okay, well, that's great. Great to hear that. Well, good luck to you in the rest of the tournament,
Thank
I guess.
you. Yeah.
And
Thank
maybe
you.
see you again in the top 8. You're going to win a lot, but...
I hope. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Yeah, I'll take it back.
Okay. Bye.
So
Thank you, guys.
yeah, we have the metagame breakdown. So we'll come back in a few minutes before round 3. We will read that a little bit while they're shuffling. So see you in 5 to 10 minutes.
See ya.
This one. And we're back!
Yeah.
So, we're back with the metagame breakdown.
Okay.
Take that. So you posted it somewhere or?
Yeah, I posted it in the chat already. I'm gonna post it again.
Okay. So we have a pretty diverse metagame with 66 generals being represented.
So yeah, that's pretty good. So the most play commander is Tessigur with 18. We can see there is also Narset with 12, Yizan with 8, Genara with 9, Prosh with 9, Anima with 8.
We have 5 Zergo Bell Striker.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a lot.
He did top 8 the last one, so
This was actually very funny with top 8. Like nobody
Yeah.
expected that deck to even exist.
okay. So that's we got a lot of unexpected deck as well. We have one Kalitas, one Kumano.
Kalitas, it's like mono black control, I guess.
I don't know. It's mono black kill creatures. That seems like the synergy you want to have with your commander.
And so we have Florian Chaminade and Alexis Fontaine. One of those names reminds me something.
Yes, Florent Chaminade is also known as Moondust, and is
He won the last one.
Yeah, he won the last
Okay.
DTC with Yizan, and this time he's on Marat, so that's an interesting change. I actually know his deck list quite a bit since I helped him a little bit test 47th, and he's playing a weird,
Oh yeah,
a
Marat
weird
Elf.
build. Yes, with a lot of elves and some very explosive draws.
So
Really many ways to abuse Cradle in his list, some very convoluted ways to do so, with bouncing it and replaying it multiple times a turn. So let's see. He has Weathered Wayfarer on the draw, which is like the best card on the draw, and if Alexis cannot kill it, it's going to be one way for Florian to get Cradle. So we can see some expeditions. I'm not sure what he had exactly.
I saw an Azusa.
Okay.
So that's indeed that's not the usual Marath.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's playing the 3 bounce lands and a lot of way to play multiple lands a turn, so he can get multiple use of.
So he's playing Titan Bloom.
Yeah, I mean, it does play.
Amulet of Vigor.
No, it doesn't have Amulet of Vigor, I believe. But he has a bounce land, he has Slayer Stronghold, so if he has enough mana when he plays a Titan, he can bounce a Stronghold, play it, and get haste to the Titan.
There is a small problem with the timer, so I will restart that and find another way to show a timer. What was it? It was an opt, right?
Yes, Alexis played a Opt at the end of the turn. He played a land and passed, so he was not able to kill the Wayfarer, which is great news for Florian, which is going to be able to either get Cradle or something else, I guess. Maybe Cavern of Souls, because Tessigur plays a lot of counter spells. The elf plan is like not that great against Tessigur in general, because he plays a lot of Wrath effects, so it's hard to really win that way. And but one good thing that Maras has over Yizan, for example, is that you have a general that you can play and replay again, and is enough to be a plan B on its own.
So, if there are any problems in the stream, don't hesitate to tell us. What?